about the Greeks that wasn't favorable, and he said, well, we Greeks were studying Latin and Greek and sciences and the arts. Your people in Europe were still swinging from trees.
I like that.
Yeah.
So that ties into everything I'm thinking about these days.
How so?
Well, the ancient Greeks were the source of all knowledge, right?
Yeah. Now they're just Lebanese people with jobs, but the ancient Greeks were really something else.
So they figured out back then the circumference of the earth.
Yeah.
Right. So how could that happen?
Well, that's a good question, Dave.
Okay, my other thing is there's a triad.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just bear with me for 10 seconds. There's Odin and Thor, right?
Yeah.
There's Zeus and Hercules, right?
Yeah.
Father and son God. And then there's Yahweh, God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 2,000 years ago, there was a thing about how gods needed a son, and then religious-wise, they would worship the sun, like the Son of God, right?
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me just for a moment. So you got Thor, the son of Odin. Odin was a war god, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know you love this crap. And Zeus, guess what he was? He was a war god.
Yeah.
And he had a son named Hercules, who was half human because he had sex with like a human woman. So, okay, Hercules was half of a god. And Disney made a movie about that, which is terrible. All right. And then you got Yahweh, and Matt told me his name is Jehovah.
Yes.
Look, the original Jewish God is named Yahweh. Are you disagreeing with me on that?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So Matt is confused because he's young. No, David. The Jewish God is named Jehovah. No, Matt. That's another name for Jesus, right? Am I?
Yeah, I mean, the LDS people believe that Jesus Christ was the Jehovah of the Old Testament, but other religions don't believe that.
All right, that's fine. But Yahweh, Y-A-W, look, he was the God, right?
Yes, he was.
All right. So the reason why I like talking to you is because I can look this stuff up, and since you've looked it up, you actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, why would David Lovins know about Yahweh?
Good question.
Because I looked it up and researched it.
Okay.
All right. So, Yahweh, I'm going to be honest. I think he was a famous warrior that protected the people because he was really good at being a warrior. and someone made a statue of him, right?
Yeah.
So the warrior transcended into a godlike status. So when the Jewish culture started, there were many gods, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yahweh was one of the gods. There were Babylonian gods, right?
Yeah.
All right. So just follow me with this. I've done my homework. So you had Yahweh, and at the time, the Jewish people back in the past,
Yeah.
there was a confliction where some of the gods they worshipped were Babylonian, right?
Right.
All right. We're going to go somewhere with this.
Good.
So, the BS is that in the beginning, with the Jewish people, they worshipped at least 5 gods. Am I lying?
I'm not sure about that, but go ahead.
All right. So, their main god that the tribes eventually focused on was Yahweh, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there were other gods that they were aware of.
Yes, true.
Okay, so we're on the same page there. Just follow me. So they decided on Yahweh as the warrior god that they could depend on, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So when Moses went up to the mountain, and then the Jewish people decided to worship a golden calf. Well, I've recently spent a lot of time thinking about that. They were hearkening back to older times. So,
That was an Egyptian idea.
so they were not to be blamed. Now you got the Jewish.
They had lived in Egyptian culture for centuries.
All right. So in the movie The Ten Commandments, Moses comes down from the mountain. They're worshiping a golden calf statue. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So nothing I've said is disagreeable to you. Now, just follow me. It's almost over.
Everything you said is spot on.
Yeah. So, while Moses was on the mountain, the Jewish people in the wilderness built a golden calf sculpture that they started to worship, right?
Right.
I'm not making this up.
No.
Okay.
And the Jewish people still worship the golden calf to this day because they worship money.
Okay. Just, I wish you hadn't have said that, but you did. Okay.
I'm joking.
Yeah, good. All right. So, why, when the prophet was up on the mountain for 40 days, why, when in his absence, would they build a golden calf and then, while he was away, they were dancing and singing to it and having like the time of their lives, ingesting alcohol, having a great time, and Moses, the father, comes down from the mountain and says, this is not right. So I'm not saying anything wrong, right? I mean, that's what happened, right? I don't even know if you're there.
Sure.
Oh, you're there. Okay. So, why would the Jewish people in the wilderness build a golden calf and worship it while Moses was away for a mere 40 days?
Right.
Okay, it's because this is something I thought about. There was still a part of them that just wanted the worship of other gods. You know why?
Why?
Because now you put a bunch of men and women together. Look, they want to have fun. So, golden calf is going to be more fun than like Michael Lovins' Moses coming from the mountain. Now, this is the funniest thing I've ever said. Michael Lovins coming down from the mountain. This is how it is from the Gospel of Mike.
Yes.
All right, now he's very like studious about like how God is, and it's really pretentious and stuff. Mike doesn't know how God is, and neither does Moses. And when you get men and women together and they're dancing, and then like Father Prophet is up in the mountain, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna sip a little wine, eat some manna, and they're gonna dance, and like, you know, the young people are gonna make out with each other. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Because people, they seek adventure, and if the top dog is up on the mountain talking to God, and it's taken a long time, they're getting really bored.
When the cats are away, the mice are gonna play.
That's right. That comes from the medieval times.
Yeah, of course. I've been reading A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain recently.
Yeah.
You never read that book.
No, but I saw the movie.
There is a movie about that? Well, I gotta see the movie.
You should.
You've never seen...
It almost seems like it was either Bing Crosby or Danny Kaye. I can't recall.
Alright, I will look it up.
Okay.
I found out something about Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Here it is. I've been trying to get you to see this movie for 30 years. But in Scottish myth,
I actually started watching it.
why do you
10 minutes.
Why do you interrupt me?
What?
Why in fuck do you interrupt me?
David, a conversation requires two people.
Right. That's why people watch our videos. Because it's a... See, you interrupted me.
Somebody's response in a conversation is an interruption, is a misnomer. But if I actually interrupt you, I apologize for it.
All right. So what I want you to do is before I say this sentence, I want you to interrupt me. Go ahead.
I'm completely fine listening to you.
All right. It'll only take 10 seconds, and then you can say whatever you want for 30 minutes until this video ends. See?
Right.
See, you interrupted me.
That's not an interruption, David. That's me supporting your conversation.
Look, this is what...
I sit there and
See?
you talk about all this stuff. I will just sit there silently, okay?
This is what comedy is, which is why you don't know anything about comedy.
I know everything about comedy, David.
How do you feel about Will Ferrell?
He's amazing.
All right. Zach Galifianakis, who does Between Two Ferns.
Yeah.
You know that?
I don't know the movie.
Look, you go on.
I've seen a dozen of his
See,
movies,
you interrupted
but the
me.
one that you choose is obviously the one I haven't seen.
How do I know how to do that?
Because you're good at it. It's just like our brother Mark. He calls only when somebody's in the bathroom. I don't know how he does it, but he does.
You ever seen the movie The Hangover?
Yes, I think it's a genius movie.
All right, it's rated R, right?
Yeah.
Mormons aren't allowed to see rated R movies, right?
They can as long as they cover their eyes with their hands.
So, I was amazed when you were 16, you went to go see Magic. That was a rated R movie back in 76.
Yeah, I saw it with my friend Mike Bernard.
And you came home. Mom had this white-faced look on her. Like, my son has seen a rated R movie.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
And you came home all happy.
I was disturbed by the movie. It's a very disturbing movie.
Well, it's disturbed you for like 27 years after that.
No, it didn't. I forgot about it afterwards, but it's a very disturbing movie.
I saw that movie, and there's nothing really that bad about it. It was Anthony Hopkins' first introduction into American cinema.
Mm-hmm.
He did a good job in it.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that movie. It's...
Okay. Well, I mean, movies just make like bad stuff so they can get a higher rating and make more money. They don't even care about adding the bullshit. Excuse my French. They just want to add bad stuff to movies so they can get the higher rating.
Yeah, I excuse you're American.
Yeah, thank you.
Because that's how Americans actually talk.
Yeah.
And YouTube ought to get over it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's English.
Yeah. Now it is. It's standard American English.
Yeah, I mean, that's how people talk.
Yeah.
What I'm pissed off about is because I'm not black, I can't say swear words.
Oh.
Now, if I was black,
Yeah.
I could say all the swear words I want on YouTube, and I could get away with it.
Yeah.
Cause they can't.
Yeah.
Cause they can't say crap about it. It's like, I'm not gonna criticize this 52-year-old black guy for swearing on YouTube, but if he's a 55-year-old short, white, 5'7" white guy from Van Nuys, California, we're gonna edit him.
Right.
You know who I think is not funny?
What?
You might know him. Bill Burke.
No, Bill Burr.
Do you know him?
Bill Burr is a very famous comedian, yeah.
I know, and he's not funny.
Nobody thinks he is.
Look, the one line I said about Bill Burke that I think is funny, it's on YouTube. Now, this video might be banned for me repeating what he said.
Yeah.
But he's okay to say, okay. It's on TikTok. It's really famous. So let's talk about Bill Burke. All right. So if you, okay.
I only know Bill Burr, B-U-R-R.
Bill Burr. Bill Burke.
It's not Bill Burke, it's Bill Burr, B-U-R-R.
All right, he's like a bald guy, right?
Kind of. I mean,
God.
he says jokes about Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You know, he makes jokes about Oprah.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, he's a loudmouth.
He's a loudmouth. He's rude. He calls women gold digging. You know what? You know that's him.
Gold digging bitches? Is that what you mean to say?
No, even worse.
All right. So there's a range. There's 0% and 100%. So I thought about this yesterday. So your comedy range, like the stupid stuff, 0%, and then like 20%, it's like it might make you chuckle. So 80% comedy, that's like the top. But if it goes into the naughty area, then that is outside of your range of comedy.
That's right.
All right. So John Lovins has a range of comedy, and if you go outside of that range, then there's no way you're going to laugh.
That's right.
All right. So now this is tied in with the Mormon range of comedy, where if you can go to a rated G or PG movie and kind of chuckle, like Mormons are cool with that. But if it's too outrageous, Mormons just cannot accept that kind of humor.
Yeah.
So the Jewish people, their range of comedy is a little bit higher, where they can talk about maybe a comedy that an 18 or 19-year-old could laugh at.
Yeah.
But the Mormons want to keep it between 12 and 18.
Yeah.
All right. Because then you don't offend any of the women, because those are the people you want to control so they can have like 8 of your children.
Right. You're absolutely right. Oh, I just want to let you know my good old phone here is working hard to stay on. It's got 1% left. And so if it happens, you've got the heads up and we can convene in a half hour after the phone's charged.
Did you know I missed you because I couldn't get a hold of you yesterday?
Yeah, I did. And I called and left a message, I think.
Well, I don't check my messages. So, if you want to...
If I didn't leave a message, I'm so sorry.
Look, if you want to do a comedy show, this is like the best thing you've ever done in your life, because I'm going to bring out all those golden pellets out of you.
Yeah. Well,
Look.
you know, we both grew up in Southern California where it was cool to grow up back in the day. And now we both live in redneck, hick areas, and we're like a fish out of water of our zones. So it's all good.
So you have 1% on your phone. Let's suppose you're going to die and you have 1 minute to tell a joke, the best joke you've ever told in your life, your A-grade material, and my phone is going to die and your phone is going to die. Before you die, tell me your best joke. You have 1 minute.
Okay, I heard this joke when I was in second grade on the school playground. Okay, this is a dad joke. What do you call it when you cross an elephant with a rhino? Hell if I know.
All right. So that's why Dad was not a comedian.
Yeah.
My
I
response,
follow this tradition.
my response to that is, did you know that all of our genealogical people before us, they don't exist? I looked up Mona Lovins, Henry Lovins. They're not on Wikipedia. John, Jay and Susan. Look, I want you to look up Jay Lovins on the web. He doesn't exist.
I know, but our grandfather Henry Lovins does, and
Barely.
all kinds of articles about him.
Okay, in response to that, go to Wikipedia and look up Henry Lovins. Guess what? He isn't there.
No, but he's on. If you Google his name, he shows up all over the place.
Look.
Why? Because he was one of the key players in Southern California post-impressionist art.
Yeah, and
Aztec and Mayan revival art.
yeah, I know.
That's a big deal.
All right. So I'm going to say like 3 words and I want you to interrupt me during the 3.
Okay.
All right. See? You waited for 3 words and then you said something. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. David, when he was 4 years old, he rejected my orange truck.
It wasn't a truck, it was a car.
I know. That's the focus of our next episode. But did you know that if you type in Lovins on the web, go do it, David Lovins is going to come up before Henry Lovins.
That's right, because you've made more posts.
I am the most famous Lovins in the world right now.
Yes.
So, you're my brother. I'm my brother's keeper. You realize how I tie this all in from the beginning of the program?
Yes.
See? I'm a writer.
You are a writer, David, and I'm very, very happy that we are in communication on a positive note and that we are producing a show that will be remembered by millions throughout their lives.
Well, did you know that once you make a YouTube video, it lasts forever?
That's right.
I'm still getting hits, and you probably have not seen this video, and you should see it. It's William Shatner, Common People.
Oh.
You've never seen my most famous video.
William Shatner, what people?
Common People.
Oh, Common People. I haven't seen it.
It's my most famous video of all time.
Yeah?
I get hits on.
Check it out.
You interrupted me again. You and
Not an interruption. This is a conversation, David.
you and Matt ought to hang out in the same room. Then you can interrupt each other for like 25 minutes.
No, you're wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm wrong. So, you've never seen my most famous video on YouTube, William Shatner, Common People. You have plenty of time all day long. Go put it into YouTube and watch my most famous video on YouTube.
That's right. I will.
It was filmed in San Francisco before YouTube had all their rules about music.
Uh-huh.
And that video, the reason why my channel gets hits every day is the number one reason is because of that video. William Shatner, Common People.
Okay.
So,
I got it.
so